Hello and welcome to this Canadian Nurses Association webinar, How to Get Your Conference Abstract Chosen. It will also be made available in French. My name is Lisa Ashley and I am Senior Nurse Advisor for the Canadian Nurses Association. CNA has opened its submission for the 2018 biennium. All information is available on the CNA website. This presentation will provide you with tips to write a clear and concise abstract. Of course, these tips can be used for any conference that you may be submitting to. You will note that CNA is seeking submissions related to one or more of our 5 abstract themes around primary health care: accessibility, person-centered care, health promotion and chronic disease prevention and management, technology and innovation, cooperation, and collaboration. Abstract submission guidelines, which are available on our website, talk about how abstracts must be structured. They have 4 sections: learning objectives, activities, methods, and innovations, outcomes, results, and lessons learned, as well as conclusion. It also provides information on maximum word counts. You will notice that Pechakucha 2020 presentations, solution labs, and innovation stations ask for 150 words or 950 characters, including spaces. Longer abstracts will not be reviewed. Panel presentations ask for 400 words or approximately 2,500 characters, including spaces. Again, longer abstracts will not be reviewed. Let's start then. The title helps to clarify your presentation and set the proper expectations. It should be brief. The title states your take-home message or key idea in a single short sentence. It reflects the content of the abstract. A good title is not a label, but a lure into people wanting to listen to your presentation. Your title should catch the eye and convey the main idea of your work. The section on learning objectives is very important. This is where people get to see what others can learn. What do you want the convention participants to remember? What 3 things do you want them to recall after leaving your presentation? If you cannot identify the 3 main points you want the conference participants to remember, they will not either. Learning objectives help to focus on the participant's behavior that is to be changed, facilitate the learning, direct the participant on which sessions best meet their needs, convey to participants exactly what is to be learned, and increase the chance the presenter yourself and the learner end up in the same space. So let's look at some examples. The first one says, explain the benefits of various exercise modalities for a person who is frail and elderly. This can be better written to say, determine the most appropriate exercise modality for health maintenance in the patient who is frail and elderly. A second example, increase their knowledge of anti-inflammatory agents used in the treatment of arthritis. A better way of stating this is list 2 non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agents used in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. A learning objective is not something done by the presenter. It must be done by the learner. It is observable, measurable, and it is action taken by the participant. So think of using measurable verbs such as the following words, such as state, name, recognize, identify, apply, discuss, compare, distinguish, justify, or argue. Now think about the activities, methods, and innovations. What did you do? Does this section clearly state what other nurses can learn from the presentation? In this section, introduce the context of your work, perhaps including the particular issue or theme that your work responds to. What is the problem that you are addressing? Why is this difficult, and what is the difficulty? Who were the subjects? How many were there? Why has this problem not been solved before? What did you expect, or what is the hypothesis? What kind of data did you collect, and how did you collect it? How did you assess the data? Is this a case study, an experience report, a pilot? Perhaps it's an innovation that you've put into place where you work. The next section is about outcomes, results, and lessons learned. What did you learn or discover? Did a new technique or approach work, or did it not? What new information or data are you providing? Was something confirmed or refuted? Were there surprises? How are the outcomes applicable to nursing, healthcare, and the health system? The next section is about the conclusion. State the relevance of your ideas to past work or to the future development of the field. Avoid saying in effect a solution to this problem will be presented, but actually state what it is. If you're taking a stand on a controversial issue, summarize the arguments that lead you to your position. State the contribution to research or to practice made by the work that you did. Remember that you need to convince the reader that your presentation is significant and that you deserve the time to present it. Think about what can we now do differently or that we couldn't do before? Who will be affected by these results? Does this apply to your team members, to team leads, to other stakeholders? Will something be cheaper, faster, or better? Now let's look at some other tips. It's important to organize your ideas. Ask yourself what your reader already knows and what would most like to know. Put the most important ideas first. Don't overload your sentences. If you have related points you want to make, use another sentence. Do not cram information into one sentence. Use active sentences. Sentences should be simply constructed, limited to one idea, and in the active voice, the subject of the sentence is the doer of the action. Your sentences will be easier to understand. Look at this example. In early April, all abstracts will be reviewed by the committee. A better way to say this is that the committee will review all abstracts in early April. Avoid ambiguity. Get to the point as directly as you can. Never use a big word if a little one will do. And avoid using jargon. People need to understand what you are saying. Look at this example. The perceived acceptability of disparities caused by differences in preferences is based on allocative efficiency. Very hard to understand. A better way to say this, in plain, simple language, is that people see unequal services as fair if they are getting what they want. Here are some more tips. Submit your abstract on time. Submit your abstract to the conference that is most appropriate to your area of work. Use the past tense, or at least pick a tense and stick with it, such as our project demonstrated, our research demonstrated. So when you're writing, avoid using mixed tenses. This creates confusion and reduces the quality and flow of your information. Consider that you are writing for an audience who has limited knowledge of your research. Ask a peer to critically review your final abstract before submission. Remember that original work will impress your audience more than work that is simply interpreted as reinventing the wheel. Never be tempted to submit an abstract without results, as no study can ever be complete without results. and stay within the word limit. And remember again, if you use jargon, explain it, otherwise do without it. So what is your final check? It's important to take your time before pressing that submit button. A good abstract is not written in just a few minutes. Go over it several times. Have someone else read it. Do a final check. Does the abstract clearly address at least one of the themes? Does it clearly state what other nurses can learn from the presentation? Does it explain how the abstract reflects the convention theme? Is it evidence-based? Are there any spelling or grammar errors in it? Does it describe how the outcomes are applicable to nursing? Does it display originality, innovation, and nursing leadership? Does it address strategies to disseminate findings and information? Remember to do that final check of clarity, relevance, quality, application, and innovation before you press that submit button. At CNA, we'll be doing a blind peer review for all abstracts submitted, and abstracts will be selected according to how well they meet our submission criteria, which is on the information on our website. Abstracts can be submitted and presented in English or French, and if accepted, will be presented in the language of submission. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Good luck in submitting your abstract, and we look forward to seeing you at our convention. Thank you.